Okay, I'm going to take a digital image of a flower. This is made from dancing women from the 18th century. These are digital images. And I'm going to cut out a shape, a very simple shape, which is this one. Now, I've got some foiling, which is the leftover of a screen print. And I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to cut out the negative off this piece of foil. If I turn it over this way, lay it on a piece of greaseproof paper, I can get a clear image of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to cut round the excess foiling. Now, because I haven't got any screen print facilities or heat presses here, I'm just going to use a bog standard iron. And I'm going to press this foil without glues or bonding. I'm going to press it and bond it between some throwaway, so I'm left with this, throwaway plastic. So I've got some plastic bags, which I've cut open. I'm going to lay that with the greaseproof paper down, put that on, put the lovely foil on the top of the pattern, and then I'm going to put another piece of plastic over it so this bonds to it with the heat. So I'm going to take another sheet of plastic, place this over the top. So we've sandwiched my image inside there. And all I'm going to do is lay the greaseproof paper on top and iron. You can actually see the layers and you can feel the layers bonding together. You can do this with anything. You can grate bits of crayon in there, wax crayon, so that blends with all the colours. You can use lots of sorts of plastic bags. So basically, you're making your own base fabric. I've just literally got the leftovers from the foil print. That was the main screen print of the silver. So when that was taken off, I've got this excess here. Keep ironing till you feel the plastic bonding together with the heat. Then, when you feel that it's all melted together, the plastics, take the iron off and let it cool just for a bit. It's a bit like baking. You can actually look and you can see that the image is beautifully flattened down. Let it cool for a minute. There we go. And you're ready with a piece of work which will actually, you can see it better probably if I hold it down onto the white fabric. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, which is a digitally print of my dancing ladies, and I'm going to put some Bondweb on the back. Bondweb is just heat, here we go, heat glue, really. One side's tracing paper, one side's glue. I lay the Bondweb on the back of the fabric, careful not to waste any, because all little bits count, so I'll just trim off the excess because I can use them for other things. Glue side goes down, paper side this way, put the iron down and literally just heat press this to it. We are left with, that. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is use very sharp scissors and cut round this shape. So, carefully, I'm going to trim away the excess first, and this bit's quite nice because you can do all the preparation with a glass of wine, sat in front of the telly. Obviously don't drink too much so you'll ruin your design, but then carefully cut into the work. Keep going all the way round. Okay, I put the Bondweb on, and what I'm going to do now is take the paper off. Glue side, you can actually see it's like a sticky, it's got an edge to it. Place it down where you want it. I'm placing it in the middle of this plastic flower. Put the papers in between so you've got like a flower sandwich. Greaseproof paper on the back and greaseproof paper on top. And you're ironing it again. The Bondweb is sticking with the heat. It's sticking the flower in the middle, but you're also going back over the plastic with the heat, just to make it all bond together. When you've done that, just allow it to cool, because if you pull the tracing paper off while it's hot, it'll pull your pattern off. Okay, these are the flowers for the Foundling Museum project that's going to go to Alexander Palace, and huge amounts of research as starting points. I've looked at objects from the Foundling Museum and also other things in the 18th century, images in the 18th century. So we've got fanning ladies, we've got crying children and crying mothers, clocks, repeat patterns of the 18th century in florals. And what I wanted to do was take the images, spin them in Photoshop and InDesign, and get the actual images making the florals, and then put them in a repeat pattern. So it's a repeat pattern using the colours that they used in the 18th century, and blow them up completely out of proportion to huge big flowers that you think, oh wow, that's pretty, and then you look closely and you realise it's baby's eyes or an arm or
so these are dancing ladies going round in the...
Yeah, they're dancing ladies with fans, and then in the middle it's the dancing ladies done in line and repeated, so it made quite interesting patterns. It was a bit like when you look through one of...
a kaleidoscope.
That's the one. Whack it in an embroidery ring. Screw on the bottom and the round halo bit on top. This is just to keep the work nice and flat. It's a brute force. It's quite bouncy because it's plastic. So you just want to have it tight like a drum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch, so when you can see it up to the light, I'm going to stitch this green appliqué flower that I've put over the top of the plastic on the sewing machine. I'm going to use a free machine embroidery foot, which is this, or a darning foot. Put the foot down, and I'm going to literally just draw now with the sewing machine. So I'm going to just draw over where the print is on the fabric, and I'm just attaching the fabric to the background plastic. Just as simple as that. Lots and lots of lines, straight line stitches. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try not to keep stopping, because you get a nice flow, a nice consistency. So I'm just literally using the lines to guide me. Now you don't want to cling to the work as if it's like a life jacket, just relax your hands. And just sew it. You can put your needle in and spin it around if you want to have a look where you've gone, but you can see, you can get quite close and really, really detailed. And the idea with the threads is you're putting on an extra layer, you're building up a bit more detail. And I would keep doing this, and it'll also make the silhouettes of the dancing women stand out more. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to keep building this all the way round in one colour. Okay, I'm putting a black thread on the bottom. I'm holding it this way and allowing the tension so it's not baggy. I'm putting a black thread on the bottom and a black thread on the top. There we go. Putting it in a bobbin. And I'm going to pick out just some of the stitches on the print, just so it doesn't look stuck on it, it all starts to blend together. So I'm putting a machine embroidered black on the top, the same as on the bottom. Again, free machine embroidery. Foot down. Get yourself so you're comfy and so you can see where you're working, and I'm just going to build into some of these stitches, leave some of the print, but then build some areas in.